Hi, I'm Kurt from Armour and welcome to Workshop Wednesday.
Today we're officially introducing a brand new member of the Armour crew.
My name is Graham. I'm a qualified panel beater and I used to do car restorations, just old 70s cars and 60s cars. A bit of a problem, it's called coronavirus. I have restored my own M3 Stewart and that sort of led me here.
What is this? What are we looking at today?
We are looking at a Ram Kangaroo. I believe the Canadians built these out of leftover Grants and Lees. Today we're just going to break track, lose a link and take that idler off and have a look at its seals. It's got a remarkably large amount of grease coming out of it, which is never good, but we're going to pull it off, clean it, and then we'll go from there. We are looking at a 975 Continental radial engine. At some point we need to probably take the engine out, which is not something I'm going to enjoy. Because it's a radial engine, you have to wind them over. A whole bunch of the cylinders are actually upside down, and over time oil will seep past the rings and end up in the combustion chamber, and if you try to just hit the starter motor you can just blow a cylinder straight off the engine. I usually tend to go for about 60 turns of the handle. I bet you $1 million not one soldier during World War II wound that over when they were being shot at. They just jumped into it and went.
How many?
50. And if anybody says, oh, it doesn't look that hard, come and do it yourself. I'm going to climb in, turn the fuel on, check the batteries, make sure they're going to work, and then we're going to watch an enormous amount of smoke go out the door.
We're going to shift the vehicle forward so we have a little bit more room to work around it. It's also never a bad idea to run these old petrol engines whenever we can. There's a lot of smoke and oil spraying out the back. This is normal for older radial engines, but it's getting a little bit excessive. So like Graham said, we'll probably have to pull the engine out and investigate things a bit further, a bit later on.
Oh, my one adoring fan.
The first step is to unlock and loosen off the idler wheel. Spinning the left-hand threaded bolt in the centre actually pushes the two halves of the housing apart.
We appear to have some slack in our track. Is it moving?
Yep.
I need to go get the bigger hammer. Good job. But we're going to take this off, we'll get the wheel off, and then we'll bring the master Steve in and he can give his final opinion on what we do with it once we've got it off and cleaned, because he does make the final decisions. Get off. Ah, look at that. It's good for the skin.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can give it a tap and... Well, it might want to come off, it might not. This looks about better. I'm just having a look at the seal. Actually very, very hard, which is probably why it's leaking. And you can see it's been leaking for ages.
Now over to Steve for his expert assessment.
My assessment is you've done a great job getting it off. No, I mean it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So that's what a compliment is?
Yes. You can see that it's been leaking for a while because there's very little grease. I'd say this would be probably an original type oil seal, because normally they should be quite springy, but you can see this is extremely hard. We can take the whole thing back to the workshop, and there's like an ID mark I can see on here that we might be able to do an internet search on that.
Steve got the seals measured up and an order into our supplier, while Graham got to work removing a track link.
The chances of that actually sliding off is approximately 0. I'll heat it up real hot with the oxy and then we'll jackhammer. So it didn't budge? Didn't think so. Do what I normally do and just slice the side, and then go up the middle. Oh, this is extremely hot in my face. I'm trying to blow away the side of the cleat to expose the pin without destroying the pin. And my sweat is making me look like I'm crying. This is Where'd that go? Right, time to do some chopping. Beautiful. The way oxy works is you've got to get it hot before it'll melt, but the inner steel, which is the pin, isn't going to be anywhere near as hot as the outer. So you can blow away the outer and the pin will stay fine, although if you are a bit slow, you will actually chew through the pin as well. But I always take the sides off and then zip, zip, and you can just break them off and that's them done.
If you'd like to support the museum, we're actually selling this piece of track on our website. Check the link below. These modern seals are a lot more effective than what was originally fitted, so we decided we only needed to replace the outer seal and that we'd leave the inner one to act as a sort of spacer. As you can see, it was a bit of a challenge to get this one out. Here, Graham is using some kerosene to help dissolve some of the old grease. Nice and clean, new grease will have a much higher viscosity and should stay within the wheel assembly.
Push it in with your palm and then it will slowly work its way through all the bearings till coming out the other side. Alright, new seal time. Beautiful snug fit, and we will just smear a little bit of grease around the edge of the new seal so that when it goes on it doesn't have, you know, two dry surfaces on each other. It basically burns the seal out pretty quickly. And then we can forklift this back to the museum. Cool socks.
How are we going to put this track on, Graham?
Well, it's funny you ask, actually. Hopefully they'll work. I brought a shifter, didn't I? These are track connecting tools, track tensioning tools. It's like a million different names for them. I actually own a pair myself. They're probably from something modern. Don't worry about that. Yeah, how do I want to do this? You cannot call yourself a tank mechanic unless you've had the fun of doing tracks by yourself. It's a rite of passage.
Right.
I did the Sherman that's behind you on my lonesome. That's got to get to the same distance as it is between there and there. Now, it hasn't pushed the other one off yet, has it?
Nope.
That's a good one.
As always, Auntie sees every old bolt you come across. You never know when you're going to need to take it back out. Job done. Taking that track link out has made a massive difference, and we shouldn't need to tension the track again for a long time now. The last thing to do is wind up the rubber band and take it for a spin.
First, reverse, second, third, fourth, fifth. This thing drives absolutely mint. If you've driven a Stewart, you'll drive one of these and they drive exactly the same. Not a drop of grease coming out.
Mission accomplished. We still have more work to do on this beast, but that's all we have time for today. Join us next Wednesday for your weekly tank restoration fix. So until then, I'm Kurt from Armour, and I'll see you on the next one.